What up, guys? How's everyone doing?
Hello.
Everyone doing good?
Yes, we are.
So I made a conscious decision here because I'm like 5 minutes from the office. I'm like, we're just gonna start and then move to the computer because a lot they don't need to see my like. There's not like slides. We're going through like a training, so we can just do that. But while we're logging on, I saw others yet started offering identity resolution. Curious whether Jonathan or Nicholas started offering it.
No, I have not as of yet. I just got started with your program, so I'm trying to learn how to set things up.
Okay, cool. How about you, Nicholas? Yeah, yeah, no problem. And by the way, Jonathan, I'll just throw this out there because we offer support. Like, feel free to just start selling because if you sell, you're like, oh crap, I don't know what to do. We'll literally just hop on a Zoom and Sherry can set it up for you. So don't worry about like knowing the tech. You could even say to a client after you close, okay, let's schedule your onboarding call. And then just let me or Sherry know, and we will make sure one of us are on the onboarding call with you, and we can even take the lead on the onboarding call, and you can just pretend we work for you. You could just be like, you know, specialists are going to help us get set up, and we are absolutely happy to do that for you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Since a few more are hopping on here, Sam, Antoine, any of you, have you guys had a chance to start offering this yet?
I've pitched a few people. I haven't got any sales yet. Just
Yeah.
like people
What's
in my
the
network.
response been like?
It's everyone's interested. It's just more on their side, like, oh, they're not ready, blah 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 blah. But I haven't run ads or anything. It's just like reaching out to people in my network.
Yeah, but that's the greatest way to start it, is to start
Yep.
with the low hanging fruit of people that's in your network. Can I ask, just hate to put you on the spot. By the way, you guys didn't hear me say this when because you guys are all logging on now, but I'm like 5 minutes from my office and it's like the traffic just broke free. So I was like, I'm just going to start the call. We'll start engaging and then we'll move over to the laptop as soon as I get there. However, what were you saying to start that conversation?
I'd be like, hey, I've got a pretty good offer. I can read the exact word for word, but I send them like a loom breaking everything down. Most people are interested, so I'm gonna keep at it. What I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna create a YouTube video, kind of breaking everything down, and then push some ads to it because I want to start building my brand as well with all that.
Yeah, I like that. So before today, the main focus that I want to get on is how to have that conversation of how to do a demo, like how to actually conduct a demo with them on and what that looks like. You guys are going to kind of be shocked by my strategy of doing it. If any of you have been following any of my stuff for a long time, maybe you won't be, but for those who are just kind of getting to learn, well, what does Ross do on a closing call? Um, it might be a little eye opening to you how easy it is for anyone to get started. But I want to just really quickly backtrack on something because I mentioned the comment earlier, getting or starting conversations. So, I don't know if you guys know much about me, but I do ministry, door to door ministry. I do volunteer ministry. I do a lot of ministry work. And it doesn't matter if you're religious or not. You'll understand this illustration. But in the past, in our ministry, we used to be super direct with people where we'd be like, have you ever wondered this? Or have you ever wondered why God allows bad things to happen to good people? Like, we would just come out of the gate with like a really interesting question. And that was effective for low hanging fruit and for people who didn't mind, talking about those things. But over the last year and a half, we've been tweaking our method a little bit of being able to talk to more people, and rather than focusing on pitching people on stuff, like trying to start, the success is not based off that, but starting conversations. And sometimes the conversations initially have nothing to do with what we're actually trying to talk, and sometimes they go nowhere. A lot of times they go somewhere. So, just to give you guys an example from the standpoint of like with the ice cream or with the ministry, I was at an ice cream place the other day. talking to a guy, he's scooping the ice cream. We're just talking about life. That leads into the news. That led into this thing with Texas. That led into him asking questions about, why these things are allowed to happen. Now, when it comes to work, talking to people about their company, it's really super easy because people want to pitch you. They want to sell you on something. And so, a lot of people get upset with spammers in their inbox. I've actually sold a lot of stuff to spammers in my inbox because they're starting conversations with me. They got a little hustle, they got a little grit, and so when any number one thing you can do is dive into their business. Ask them, so what do you do? What is it that your company does? Figure out everything you can and just be genuinely interested in them. Just out of curiosity, what do you think that's going to open the door to? Anybody can just turn on their mic. This is a very informal,
More
low
offers.
key kind of yeah, more offers, and they're going to want to know something about you too. Well, what do you do? Yeah, so then they're going to give you a chance to kind of talk as well. And so, what's funny is the most effective way is if you make it feel natural and like you did not mean to do it. I call it the Columbo method. So I'll give you an example. I will walk them right into it. They'll be asking me, I'll be like, "Oh, what do you do?" Well, we do this, this, that, and I'm a realtor, and we do focus on higher end luxury home. Oh, wow, that's awesome. Are you guys doing it? Yeah. How many realtors do you have working in your brokerage? We got 3, 4. They say, "Oh, that's pretty cool. What are you guys doing for your outreach? Are you guys doing mailers?" And oh, I'm doing ads, this, and this. That's awesome. Do you have a card? Because I talk to a lot of people, and I'm just thinking, man, maybe I could send some people your way. Oh yeah, yeah, they give you a card. So what do you do? Well, it's funny you say that. I actually help people. I didn't even pitch it first. A lot of people get overly excited, overly zealous over this, and they're like, "Oh, I could definitely help you, blah blah blah. You got to see what I have." That might work, but what's funny is when you make them pull it out of you. So, you were saying, just to give you an example, you were saying you guys are running ads. You know how much you're spending on ads? I always spend a couple $1,000s a month on ads. Yeah, so I assume you're driving them to your website or some sort of a lead magnet. Yeah. So if you were to look at the stats on your lead magnet, only about 3% of the people, sometimes less, who land on that page are actually filling anything out. And so that's why, for instance, Facebook retargeting ads and all that are so popular. But what we do is we actually capture about 25 to 30% of those people, and we get their name, email, phone number, estimated credit scores, what their home address is, all of that information. And then we use other ethical means to market them. So it might be mailers, we can do emails, things that don't seem scammy and spammy. So essentially, we fill that hole. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I mean, I can show you if you want. Now you've got them into this spot where you can now walk them into that conversation. And the reason why I'm mentioning this conversation method is because a lot of marketers first starting out, the thing that keeps you alive, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on my camera because I'm done driving now. The thing that keeps you alive is having financial runway. So, like, let's say right now you've got $20,000 in your bank account, and you're like, I'm going to start this business. Some people are, until you start having some sort of income, it can be scary to start spending money on ads because you're like, well, what if I spend money on ads and I'm just chewing up my runway, but I don't close sales fast enough? And it's a legitimate fear. Like, it's not something to take lightly because the reality is that you got if you're out of there's a lot of people who they were so close to being successful, but the only reason they weren't is because they fell out of the game before they actually, they ran out of money before they could actually find their success. So, like Sam was saying, he's just reaching out to his network. That is such a good way to go about getting your first clients. You can even go through your emails, see who's sending you emails trying to sell to you. You can ask them questions about their offers, get on a call with anyone and everyone who wants to. Here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to bait and switch blatantly where you tick people off. Because doesn't that kind of irritate you when someone books an appointment on your calendar and all of a sudden they you realize, oh, they didn't actually want to buy anything from me. So it's got to feel, once again, it's got to feel natural. It can't feel like something that is that you're forcing. I'm going to switch over here to my Zoom, and then we'll go through what these demos feel like. Let's see, put a boom, put a boom.
Recording in progress.
Okay, okay. Jerry, can you make me the host? Let's see here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
Should be all good.
Okay, so just out of curiosity, down in the question, down in the chat, you can just drop it in there. What do you guys think the most effective method for hey, what's up, Doug? I appreciate you. What do you think the most effective method for doing a demo these days is? Is it let's just say webinar slide or like slides, whiteboard? What do you guys think it might be? Let's see, drop it in the chat. No slides. Casual phone conversation. Alex got it. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So what I've found is that I remember taking a program from Digital Marketer back in like 2017, 2018, and it was from Ryan Dice. I don't know if you guys know who that is. I'm sure you do. And he was saying how he showed this chart. He showed how the highest converting sales are one-to-one sales, and the lowest converting sales are one-to-many. But the most scalable methods are one-to-many. That's the most scalable. So to put that in perspective, if you have the ability to do one-to-one calls, you have a much higher chance at closing a sale. But if you're in a spot where you're tapped out, you don't have any ability to keep scaling with, you have no more calendar space, then it starts making sense to go one-to-many. And what's funny is that I have a lot of people where I'll get on a call with them and they're wanting to grow their business, grow appointments. And the first thing that they'll always say to me is like, oh, do I have to do demos? Well, first off, let's just ask, how many people do you have right now? Like, how many customers? I don't have any customers yet. How many demos a day are you doing currently? Well, I don't do any right now. So why don't you want to do demos? Well, because, it just seems like, well, it is a lot of work, but that's what you have to do in order to be able to go demo. So you have to do demos to go demo list, because then you learn all their pain points, all of these things that it takes to grow it. So demos are going to be the best way to do it. But now when you get on a phone call with somebody, and keep in mind, we're kind of turning the tables here. This is going to be mainly discussing when you start running ads. Now you can tweak this for when you're having conversations with people. But when you're running ads, starting off the phone call saying, hey, did you get my Zoom link? And then doing that 10 minutes of trying to get their microphone to work and, all the tech issues that go along with it. That's like a horrible way to start off any sort of a sales call. Now, if they're really interested in the thing that you're selling them and they want to see some sort of a demo, you can move the conversation to a demo, but I wouldn't start there. I would book them before you get on. Oh yeah, she says, can you make me host co-host so I can still let people in? Yeah, I actually
And
only needed.
yeah,
I
guys,
actually
can
only need
you? Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I don't know if it's on
co-host.
my end only, but you sounded too far from your microphone, Ross. Your audio earlier is way better.
Okay, let's see here.
Okay,
Is this better?
better. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, so really you want to hook them before you move into trying to help them figure out the tech stuff, because otherwise you're just going to be getting flustered and frustrated. So you get on a phone call with them and they've booked a Calendly call, but most of them don't even know what you do. Because if you think about it, the ad was designed to get them intrigued, pique their amygdala. They know what the end result should be, but they don't know how you do it. And some people might even forget why they filled out the ad because it was 3 days ago and it was in their news feed and they were taking a poop and they thought it looked cool and now they booked it, but now they don't really remember what they're even hopping on a call doing. So what I always start my conversation off with is, and I'll just role play this out, but I just say, for instance, hey, Sam, how's it going? Nice to meet you. Thanks for booking our call. Just real quick, can you tell me what problem you were hoping I could solve for you today? So what that does is it allows them it gives them direction in the conversation. Because anytime you're talking to someone new, it can be a little awkward. So a good salesperson is going to control the conversation through questions. And now Sam's going to tell me right out of the gate, well, we're running a lot of Facebook ads, and I saw that you have something that will allow me to get more leads without paying more in ad spend. So I just thought it looked interesting. I don't really know much more, about it. So I just wanted to see what you have. So tell me what you have. It's going to turn it around. They're always going to try to turn it around on you right away. Most people will. I do it to other people as well. I love to, like yesterday, I was on a call with a software company called Fanbase because I'm looking at changing merchant accounts and I wanted to see what they had to offer. And you could tell he was getting flustered, but I love doing it to people because I want to see how good of a salesperson they are. And he did a great job. He was excellent at what he was doing. But every step of the way, I was like pulling back the reins, doing the things that people do to me that, just to see how it goes. So anyways, when they say, well, yeah, show me what you guys do. Well, before we get into that, I am going to go through it in detail for you guys. But before we get into that, I need to learn a little bit about your company, what you guys do, because it's going to help me to better explain it because our offer can work for many different kinds of businesses. So I find that if I learn what you do, it will allow me to help you understand how it works for you better. Does that sound good? Yeah. So tell me what your company does. Oh, we do plumbing for blah, 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 blah. And, we do this, and this. So now what I've done, just to kind of put this into like a framework, is I've started off controlling the conversation, hey, and getting the momentum of them saying like, yes, I'm looking for help. I said, hey, Ross, hey, my name's Ross from Consolidated. Nice to meet you, Sam. Real quick before we get started, can you tell me why you scheduled the appointment today? What problem you were hoping I could solve for you? So by them now answering, they're admitting that they have a problem. Now they might say, well, I don't know if I have a problem. I just saw this ad and this, and this, but that gives you the opportunity then to reframe. Now you go into learning about their business. How long do you think you should learn about their business? Just real quick. Anybody in the chat, let me know. 15 minutes. What's the ideal amount of time that you should be learning about their business? 20 minutes. Let's keep going. Want a few more answers on this. Anyone? 5 minutes. Okay. You guys are all right because the answer is as long as it takes for you to clearly, Howard's got it. As long as it takes for you to clearly understand how you turn an identity resolved lead into a paying customer. Not into how long it takes to turn them into a lead. That's really easy to do. But how long it's going to take to turn them into a paying customer. So as you're talking to them, I never pull up the slides in the beginning. Anything. What I do is I have a little notepad, little pencil, and I'm literally like doodling their answers and putting together almost like a marketing plan. Like, okay, based off of this, they said that they're in plumbing and they're running Google ads and they're getting a lot of clicks, but they want to get more leads. So one of the ways that I could do this is I could have it set up that the second somebody's identity gets resolved, they go into an email campaign and the subject line is, are you in need of a plumber in city name? And then the body of it says, hey, blah, 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 blah. I saw you were interested in this, this, and this. Just wanted to reach out and see if we could help you. Here's my phone number. Give me a call. Okay, if he were to get 1 in 4 people to reply to that, even 2 in 10 people to reply to that, what would that look like? Well, I'm only charging 50 cents a lead, so it'd be $5. So for every $2.50, he's probably going to get an email back. You know what? I don't want to over promise, under deliver. I'm going to tell this guy 1 in 10 leads will likely reply. So now I'm saying that you're getting $5 leads. That's super inexpensive. Okay, I understand how this works for people. This is the inner dialogue I'm having. I understand how this works for his business. I'm going to let him finish telling me what he does. But before I do that, I need to build the value of what it is that I'm selling. So then now I got to figure out how much is he paying right now per lead with Google. That's my next question. So right now you said you're running Google Ads. How much do you spend on Google Ads to get a single lead? Well, I'm using Google Local Service Ads, so I'm only paying when I generate a lead or whatever. Okay, what is it? It's about $25. Now I got something to anchor it against. Oof, you're paying a lot. That's an expensive lead. Yeah, but they convert and there's an ROI. Well, I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that you're getting an ROI on it, because if you can get an ROI on $25, what I got for you is going to help you out drastically. You got can I are you I think I understand how this can work for your business. So I'd like to share with you what this does, how this works. Boom. So real quick before we go from there, does anybody have any questions or any thoughts as to up to this point? Let's see. I assume if they're not running ads, you focus on traffic on their site. If they're not running ads to where they're getting, say, at least like 500 to 1,000 clicks minimum per month, they're not even a fit for it. And that's why I would even say that in your ad. Sorry guys for the messy hair, but I would even say that in your ad, like, try to qualify those people up front in the ad, because you don't want to waste your time. If you put identity resolution on someone's website and they're getting 100 clicks a month, they're not going to be real excited about getting 2 to 3 leads or whatever, or whatever it is. Any other disqualifiers? Not really. No. Well, I did take that back. They got to be in the US. You're not going to get many leads outside of the US. You're not going to get any leads outside of the US. I would say 500 to 1,000 visitors on their website. So clicks per month into their site. That's going to be the minimum of what you want, because we're going to get about a 25%. Now I'll say this. If they are in a real high ticket industry, it changes everything. Everything comes in context, because let's say that they are only getting 100 clicks, but they're selling stuff that's, really expensive. Okay. You're going to get them probably 20 to 25 leads a month on 100 clicks. That's okay, but you're not going to make a lot of money on that. You're going to make $12 to $13 a month, whatever you're charging. I'm like, is this even worth your time at this point? So if you think there's room for them to grow, or you can use them as a referral partner, or you just want, to start getting some sort of traction, that's fine. Maybe you can charge a setup fee or something to make a little money off of it. But I personally just don't think it's worth your time to like go through a half-hour call with someone and close them on it if you're going to only end up making like $20 a month for a year. It's just a waste of your time. You're wanting to go for, there are enough people in the world making more money, for their clicks. And the only caveat to that would be if you automate it, which would mean no demos at all. It would mean they're literally just signing up and you're letting them log into your white labeled version of Consolidata, and you've built your own stuff to where they log in. They like, a lot of our customers have become automated. We did just go back to doing demos again because we're going to start selling high ticket, as I mentioned. But like for the last 2 years, there's been people pouring in that set it up themselves. So if you have enough content around your business and you built a really good funnel, you could do it. And then it doesn't really matter whether or not you're selling high ticket or not, because, they're uploading funds. And you know what? You could just say, hey, you know what? There's a minimum, it's only X amount per lead, but there's a minimum of $500 if you wanted to. Like if it was a low ticket person, you could say you have to load it with $500, but you could chisel away at that over the next year and a half. Like the credits roll over. If you want to do that just to bring in some money, feel free to do that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Okay, so now is where it's going to tweak a little bit based off of your business model. Are you charging these people like a high ticket setup plus usage, or are you charging them just usage? So I'm just charging people usage because everyone knows I own Consolidated. They can go to the website, they can see it. For you, you have your own brand. You can label things and do things however you want, and it is what it is. So now at this point, I'm going to say, so let me explain how this works, and I'm going to log in to my. I'm going to say, are you near a computer? If they say yes, I'm going to then move them to the computer. If they can't, I'm just going to explain this. So first, let me log in over here to Consolidata. And I'm going to, once I get them on, some people might be getting on right away, depending on if you're setting them up on Zoom or whatever. And I'm going to just say, so the way that this platform works, and I'm not going to like go through everything in here, is you put a little script on your website. And keep in mind, my company sells stuff to people all over the United States or all over the world. So my stats are going to be skewed. That's just the reality of it. The reason my stats are skewed is because I've got not people just coming from the US. I got people coming from everywhere. Europe, Pakistan, India, everywhere. But on average, you're going to see about a 20 to 30% resolution, which means that when people visit your website, that script says, okay, this person's computer also filled out all these other forms in a data pool. I know who this person is, and it tells us who they are. And so if you see this little link here, if I click on it, it's going to pull up and tell me who the person is. So you can see that this person here, Donna Kane, and it shows me their address. So it shows me this. But then if I click on more details, I can actually see here now what their house pricing is. I can see their occupation, their graduate level, what their net worth is. I can see, all of this data on this person. And now I can actually, if I want to, go in and see what were these people doing on my website while they were on there. And that's going to allow me to customize a little bit more to what it is that they were interested in. So I can see here, just looking in the activity, that these people here seem to be very, very interested in our AI bots because that's the pages that they've consistently gone to. So now my outreach, if I want to, I could customize it to that. Now, if you're we'll let them, how do you automate this, CRMs, this and that? You might use this as an opportunity to upsell them into your Go High level if you want. But otherwise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, now, let's say you wanted to automate that a little bit and be like, if they visit the AI chat site, I want to be able to send them something specific for AI chat. What am I going to do for that? So what I can do is create these different instances, these different links, but then I'm just going to put a specific page. So for instance, if I put my AI chat page on here, I could then change the tag to AI chat. And I could even change the pipeline I send them into. So based off what they were looking at, I can change the messages to what I send them. And then I can send them directly into a campaign. And the way that campaign is going to look is if I click on one of these, looks like they're changing some things on the back end right now. So I'll have to talk to Assad about that. Yeah, they messed that up. Sherry, let them know that our modal. Oh no, I'm clicking on settings. Sorry. Yeah, let them know that if I click on they got this a little backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. You know what? Never mind. I clicked on the wrong button. So then you could show them that if you click on the little dealio, now you could send them into a specific campaign, and you could say, so if they were looking at AI bots, I can then send them a message that says, looking for the best AI bot solution. And I would customize And I would even customize whatever these are to them. What you're trying to help them do is you're trying to help them to future pace and visualize what this looks like for them. And their brain's starting to click with this. Make sure you tell them numbers. Be like, on average, 1 in 10 people will actually reply and be interested in what it is that you have to offer. So if you're paying us 50 cents a lead, that means every $5 you're going to be getting a reply. And what's nice is unlike Facebook, where you're running ads and you spend the money whether or not you get a lead or not. With us, you literally only pay us when a lead gets resolved. So let's go ahead and real quick stop the share here, and I want to answer questions. They are paying you a monthly fee though. Yeah, so ours is subscription plus usage. You guys can charge whatever you want. I would go much higher ticket than what I'm charging. Like I would go. There's companies like, well, there's identity resolution companies that, for instance, Capital Audiences was one of them, where you're paying like $2,500 a month minimum just for identity resolution. I would base it off of, but then they that included, data up to so whatever point. I would maybe say feel it out. That's one of the benefits of not putting a price on your website. If you talk to a larger company that they have tons of visitors, you could create a custom package for them on something. Let's see here. Should all discovered email addresses be ran through a validator? Well, you could. You could if you want to, or you could just send it from an email that's not an email that you're worried about getting burned up. If you're using Go High Level, you could do a validator and then use their workflows. We don't have an email validation tool right now. I have not been running anything through a validator, but it's a validator question. Sorry, that was a bad dad joke. See, I'm going to start a dollar lead setup. Yeah, a dollar lead is still so cheap. People will, it's a no-brainer. And setup, I'm going to start at 1K to get traction, raise price every few closes. I love it. Starting with roofers. Yeah. Now, keep in mind what I said last week. You will raise your cost per acquisition if you target specifically one niche. Almost better to target a pain point. But you could split test it and do both. Because if you just go after roofers, yeah. Now, one thing that you can do is, there's some industries that are really, really easy to translate into mailers. And if you're looking at mailbox power, to use someone like them, have you guys heard of them? Yeah, if you're looking at mailbox power, then you could easily do something like that. Let's see, I have a friend that's going to try out the service. I'm not sure how to set up the setup and such would look like. Alan, I can absolutely help you set that up. So what's the vertical that they're going after?
It's a credit repair.
Oh, okay. So here's what's cool about credit repair. Guess where we buy our data from?
Credit repair companies, right?
Yep. Yep. Experience and all that. So it's perfect for them. So what's nice is now not only can they see who the people are, but they can see information on them. A lot of them will have their estimated credit score and all that on there. So I would definitely do that, and then just send them into an email campaign that's like, looking to increase your credit score by 30 points within the next 14 days or something like that. Let's see, not getting any leads resolved on either of the two websites we've added it to. Sherry, can you look into Howard's page, unless you already did, and let me know if it's turned on and the credits are added properly?
Okay.
Clifford, does it know when the visitors came from a URL from ads? No, it's just going to be picking up everyone. So it's just going to be picking up, everyone that hops on a page. So there's two things that you need to be able to make sure that it's working. A is that the identity resolution toggle needs to be turned on. And two, there have to be credits for the identity resolution in the thing. If your visitor tracking is not even picking up visitors at all, then it won't resolve identities. So if it's not picking up visitors at all, it means that the tracking script is not being properly buried in the page. So like if you're using Go High Level, it could be the way that it's pasted in the page, because they have a terrible way of iframing in scripts. So you have to play around with whether or not you use the global or the eat per page. Meaning, can I add a filter with your? I don't think. Oh, you know what? That's a good question, Clifford. I've never tried it because parameters stick on the page, so it might. It might.
Ross, for Howard, we're getting visitors but no leads, and it has credits.
Okay.
Uh,
How many visitors has it collected in the last 7 days or since it's been on?
for the first one is 527, and
Wow.
then the second one is 106. And I think the
So
second one he just started to launch it 2 days ago, or yeah,
can you private message me his email? I'm gonna log in here and see this.
yeah, absolutely.
Let's see.
Send it through Facebook.
If you could send it to me, Zoom. Oh, could
Um,
you send it to me privately in Zoom because I'm not logged into Facebook on my
okay,
computer.
sorry about that. Um,
After you do the demo and you show everything and you show them how it's done, can you go through how you kind of do the I don't know, do you do temp checks? Do you just do price drop? How you do the actual close?
Yep. Yep, that's what we're gonna go through here next. Yep. So I don't do price drops. I don't like messing around with people. I feel like it ruins their trust. You know, my price is what my price is. The only thing that you might do is you could break a little bit of the setup fee. Let's see, visitor tracking.
By price drop, I
Which
just mean
site?
like dropping the price, like telling them
mm,
what it costs.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like, you know, some people will like start high and keep going down.
the yeah, the visitor tracking is under Houndstown Fort and Houndstown Doggy
I found
Daycare.
it. Yep, I found it. Let's see. Da. Sherry, you know what I'm gonna need you to do? Oh, wait, let me see something.
Hmm.
If you could do me a favor, Sherry, if you could send this to um Chavez
Yep.
and ask him to dive into it,
All right.
that that would be splendid. Because he can look into the back end, make sure that that my guess is it's potentially maybe the domain didn't properly go through the API, get added
Mm,
into the identity resolution. Let me look at one last thing,
all right.
and then we'll go through the drop. So when I look at hit your credits, for some reason under that account, I'm seeing 0 credits, even though I know that there's credits. So I'm going to try something here real quick.
Okay. Even though it's
Um,
already allocated to those sub-accounts.
yeah, I'm seeing that, but what I'm seeing
Mm,
is that the agency has 0 credits, and it should not be saying that. So here's what you got. Here's what you got to tell Chavez. I think it has something to do within the credit system itself. But let him
mm,
know that despite the fact that the his account actually has credits, when you
mm-hmm.
look on the back end from like Consolidata side, it looks like there's 0 credits, even though he has credits that
Oh,
have been
I
added to it.
see. Yeah,
And actually, no, I see
mhm.
it's actually showing 0 credits. Here,
He's
let's
been
see.
fixing
Okay,
that credit system the other day.
yep. So it has to do with the credits. That's the reason it wasn't resolving it. So just let Chavez know that for some reason it's not showing his credits, despite him having 40,000 credits sitting in there.
Okay. All right.
Okay, and we'll get that fixed for you. And then what we'll actually do is, if you want, tell him to rerun all of his leads through the system, so that way we can backtrack that and run it, because we have the MD5s. All we have to do is rerun the MD5s, and it'll show any leads that resolved to get queued up in there. Okay.
Oh, okay. So we'll be able to retrieve then the leads from the past days.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Exactly. So it's not like it's just at a loss. Okay. So now that I've shown them this, I'm going to pause for a minute. I'm going to say, so what do you think? Do you think that this is something that you would like to try? And now it's my job just to listen. And they're going to say things, maybe their objections start coming out. For me, there's not a lot of price objections, because it's like you can literally get started with $50, $97 a month plus $50. So you guys might have to overcome some price objections. And now this is where you just start, objection handling, just like you would any other sales call. However, I want to give you a little tip. A lot of people need to go talk to someone else. That seems to be like the number one objection. Well, I need to go talk to my partner. I need to talk to this. The next thing that should be out of your mouth is what? If you guys just want to drop this in the main chat. So, Clifford, while I understand what you're saying as far as you don't like having to manage credits per client, it is the more organized way to do it, because if one person pays, for $5,000 worth of credits and the other one pays for $500 worth of credits, you got to have a way to where it would stop resolving identities for one person while letting the other one go from the other. Let's see, we can't pull credits from a pool for each sub account and put them back if needed. Would be interested to know what the use case, because you could have them put back by messaging us, but it's not something that is often needed. So I'd be interested to know what the use case for that, because like if a client pays for credits and you add them to their sub account, they're going to see them, and then their usage would come off. Yeah, but it does. So like when you buy credits, it goes like when you buy the credits, they're in your agency's pool, and then you distribute them as you want. Your clients aren't buying credits from us for each sub account. So like let's say you pay for $500 worth of credits, those credits are all in your agency account. And now if you want to allocate X amount towards one sub account and then X amount towards another, then that's the most organized way to actually do it. Let's see, I do that on my day. Oh, okay. Well, if for some reason like a client quits using it and you were like, hey, I want to put these credits back in, just message us and we can move them over for you. I guess that's a feature we could add if people wanted it, but we just haven't seen a use case yet on it. Yeah, Alan's got it. What would your partner say? So that's the objection handling there. So what do you think your partner's going to say about this? And usually the thing that, if you can add that, I can show you just message it to Sherry, and Sherry will message it to Chavez. It seems like a very easy feature to add. To be able to send them back and forth seems like it should be a very, very easy thing to do. Doesn't mean that it'll be fast, because fast and easy are two different things based off of what the devs are working on, but do our best. So now when they start saying what they think their partner is going to say, typically they're actually telling you what they think. And now I don't, because ours is a usage model, it's not like a good, better, best. So I'm not hopping on and being like, so we have 3 packages for you. You can do this, this, or this. It's usage based. So it's like, so we have a flat fee, and this is just to use the platform. And I would make that a lower cost fee, something that is designed literally just to build you some MRR. And then be like, and then after that, you pay for the usage. So you could charge them $200-300 a month. Is this new or is this okay? $200 to $300 a month, and plus usage or whatever. If you want to give them a certain amount of credits, that's included with that. You can. That's up to you. But it's that easy. And then if they want to get started, you just say schedule the onboarding call. Now here's a little tip. So I'm not a pushy salesperson, because I find that if I've done a good enough job building value, they're interested in what it is that I have to offer. They see the vision. I future pace them well enough. By the way, future pacing is like Now, the only element that sometimes you can add is a little urgency and scarcity to get them to move and take action. There's two ways to do this. One is if you really help them see that, wow, you're spending a lot of money on leads and you're losing a lot of money, you're leaving a lot on the table. They're going to have this feeling like, man, I spent, $600 just this last 3 days on ads and I missed out on all these leads. So one way is to help them see how they're missing out on something. Secondary way would be you could have a promotion, but here's a little trick that I found. And just make it legit. Everybody here should create a promotion of a 50% off or 30% off setup fee that ended last week. So everybody here has a promotion that ended last week that was 30% off. And the reason why is you can say to them and make it legit. You're not lying. Everybody needs to legitimately have every week. I want you guys to create a new campaign of, hey, we're doing 30% off of setup fees when people get started. But don't tell them about this week's. Tell them about last week's. And so that way you can say, so here's what I can do for you if you're wanting to get started. Last week, we ran a campaign that was 30% off the setup fee for people that got started before last Friday. And so that would have saved, you like $400. And I have a hard time, because this was just last week. If you get started right now, I'm sure I can convince my team to let me go ahead and grant last week's offer to you. Boom. Now you just got, and every week you just create a new offer of 30% off setup fees. You just don't tell them about this week's, tell them about last week's. And it makes them feel like, oh man, so I can get in on this. I can do that right away. It works like gangbusters. By the way, for anyone here who's ever bought something from me, and it was from last week's offer, I genuinely apologize. No, I love you, and I hopefully you guys see the value in that. You see the gold in it, but you'll get people to take really quick action, because the problem with saying like, hey, Friday we have it and it ends is now you're giving them till Friday to do it. And there's a lot that can happen when they get off the call. But hey, if you want to go ahead. Now here's the next thing. Yeah, I would like to do this. Do me a favor, go ahead and send me the onboarding stuff or the payment form, and I'll take care of it tonight. What's the next move to get people to close? By the way, guys, if you haven't figured it out, this is probably where most of the gold in today's call is, because these are just little tips and tricks from being in the game, doing it a lot. Send me the link to pay, and I'll take care of it tonight. Anybody here know what the next chess player move is? We're going to do a little 4D chess. Give it a second because you guys are thinking. I'm going to take a sip of some cold brew with collagen protein here in it. Okay, no one knows. The next move is to say, yep, no problem. We can, I can definitely do that for you. Let me just really quick go ahead and schedule your onboarding call for tomorrow. So that way I can get that on the books, for us, because our day fills up. I'd like to go ahead and get this thing. In fact, I can even schedule it for this afternoon if you want. Okay. Or okay, no, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay, great. Schedule for tomorrow. Here's why. Because there's a lot of people that will literally wait till 5 minutes before the onboarding call to pay for it. The other reason is because around nighttime, when it's about getting towards evening and they haven't paid it yet, you could just message them and send them a text and say, hey, real quick, just want to make sure we're still good for tomorrow. Yep. Okay, awesome. I didn't see that payment come through. And so we don't usually schedule onboarding calls without having someone, actually signed up. But yeah, that's fine. If you want to take care of that, and then we'll see you tomorrow morning. That's it. It's like you're giving them a time where it's like, because now they're going to see that, and the next morning they would be embarrassed to show up on an onboarding call and they haven't paid yet, because that's the first thing you get. Then now you have to ask them, hey, so we can onboard you and set you up, but before I can even create your account, I just need you to go ahead and take care of that payment form. Another little thing you can do is you could send them a message and say, hey, I'm actually preparing right now your account for tomorrow's onboarding call. I'm preparing some of the stuff. I didn't see a payment come through, so I don't have the email that you're going through on here that we're setting it up on. And that's another thing that you can do. So you just want little questions that you can ask them that sound natural and legit that get them feeling like, oh, okay, this is something we can do. Let's see here. Doug, how many no-shows are you getting? We don't get a lot of no-shows because a lot of our traffic has like come in and then binge watched all of my material. But your no-show rate is very will go up if you don't have that much content. Like you might get like a 40% no-show rate. Are you talking about people who don't pay or people who don't show to the initial appointment? The initial appointment, you have like a 40% no-show rate likely for most of you. That's going to be, it doesn't mean they won't ever show, but yeah. So let's say I'm charging $1,000 for a setup fee. I give them 1,000 free leads. Well, for setup, so it's like they're prepaying for leads. Is it a good way to justify a higher setup fee? So like 3K setup, 3K free leads. However you want to position that, the thing that you have to know is the more you're asking for them financially up front, the more that you have to really overcome objections and the more that you have to really create that value. You could make $3,000 from a customer that was really easy to close because they're on a usage model, but they only started with $300, but still make $3,000 over the course of that month. Or you could make $3,000 off of somebody trying to really sell them up front. I would say play with it once you get more income and traction. I know a lot of gurus. Here's one thing you have to know about marketing gurus. Do you know why they want everyone to sell high ticket? Because it sounds so good in their testimonials to be able to tell people, Sam got started with my program and 1 week later collected $5,000. But the problem is after that, how often did Sam keep collecting $5,000? I don't care about the testimonials. If people naturally give me a testimonial, great. I've if you notice, I don't ask people for many. I don't even think I have any on my YouTube channel. I just let my content speak for itself. I'm not saying that that's the right way to do it. It might be the lazy way to do it. Maybe I should be asking for more testimonials. But the reality is that I would rather just see people making money and closing deals and getting traction and onboarding. And I would rather you have 4 or 5 people who signed up and they're paying you $500 to $1,000 a month this month, rather than you go 2 months with making no sales to close one $5,000 client in 2 months. Like you'll make more money just by having more traction and more recurring revenue and things happening in your business. So we're gonna play this on the long. Don't pay or not show up for the call. Oh, so that's a good question. I don't have an exact stat that I don't want to pull a number out of my butt, Doug, but I'll just tell you that the amount of people that don't pay after they say they're going to pay for us is, I can't remember one. Sherry, do you remember one this year that we've had? I can't remember any from the last.
No, we don't have
I
one.
don't. Yeah, I don't. That's why I'm probably not tracking it. I don't know. I don't have them. I'm sure that they will happen. In the agency game, I had a ton of them. When I used to do the marketing agency game, I would say that out of every 10 invoices that I would send out, maybe 6 got paid, 5 or 6 got paid. So I'm not saying that but just right now with the groove that we're in, the people are really, really sold on it by the time it's over, and it just feels natural. And that's because I'm not being pitchy. I'm not selling. I'm selling, but I'm not like sounding salesy. I'm getting on a call, helping them with the solution. I sound like the kind of guy they would have a coffee or a beer with. And we've built this relationship up where now they're ready to move forward. You know, if you just be a normal human being that's genuinely wanting to help their company, and you do, your show rate, your acceptance rate will also go up. That's the other reason why I don't like closing one eye and saying a price, because it just starts losing trust with people. Well, guys, it's 3:54. And let's see, I asked because I do demos or onboarding calls. I sell dollar trials from a sales page. Oh, yeah, I remember you saying you do that. I've never done a dollar trial from a sales page, so I'd be probably the worst person to give historical advice on what that would look like. I don't know. I wouldn't even do phone calls personally if I was doing a dollar trial because I would just get them in on a dollar trial and then I would just do onboardings. If it was me and I was doing the dollar trial method, I would skip the sales call and just do onboardings because then they've already paid for the dollar. I mean, it's $1. They've already paid for the dollar trial, and now you're getting people who are already signed up because it would suck to have to now convince them to sign up for a dollar and then on the back end have to try to get them to stick through an onboarding. I would skip it. That would be the first part. What info do I need to get someone started? Access to their website, or yeah, I would just say get access, or like get on a call with whoever manages their website. That's really all we need. They figure it out during my 7-day trial. I don't do any onboardings. Oh, okay. So are you doing a phone call though at all? No. Oh, okay. So then you're good. What would they not pay then? Because they've already paid the dollar. Are you just saying people who didn't convert after 7 days? Oh, if you mean, how do you? Let's see. Sorry, my wife was. Oh no, I was just saying. So you're talking about people who pay a dollar, but they don't actually ever pay. Make it past 7 days. You're wanting to increase that or decrease that churn rate. The downside to a trial with something like identity resolution is that until they actually start getting replies and people interested in it, that they're not a believer in what's happening. They just see data and stuff like that. And so it makes it a little bit difficult to do it on a 7-day trial. We haven't offered trials in a long, long time because it's really hard to find product market fit with trials. I'm basically saying if doing demos and onboard is something I might want to do some of. Oh, okay. Yeah, if you do that, I would not have anywhere on your like the site or the brand that you're running it from that there's a dollar trial because then you will spend 30 minutes on a call with someone who goes and signs up for a dollar. But the problem with so product market fit is finding people who are willing to pay you for the thing and pay you what you're asking for the thing. And the reason we don't offer the dollar trials is because you might get a ton of signups, but they didn't stick. And so because of that, it makes it very difficult to find that product market fit. Guys, I hate to do this to you. I have to go because I haven't been to the shop here in like, how long has it been since I've been here, Jonas? No, I mean like before today, like 2, 3 weeks. It's been like 2 weeks, and they've got like a boatload of soldering work that they need me to do. So I'm going to get that done for them, and we keep going. But any questions that you guys have, please write them down. Bring them to next week's training. Next week we will be doing it on Thursday again at 3 o'clock. So I'm looking forward to it. I'll see you guys. Yeah, good seeing you guys as well.